going on YouTube? Got a lot of cars to look at today. Got a big old mail call from Greenlight. A lot of Greenlight cars. Some new castings are hitting finally, and we also got some new designs on some old castings that are kind of cool too. So got the Blazer to look at, really neat, and we got some dually trucks too. So dually trucks been out for about a couple years, but they were kind of Greenlight exclusives, or they were done for OEMs like, you know, Chrysler, Mopar. You could get them there. You could get them at Ford dealers with their dualies. But they're finally coming to their own series, and we're going to take a look at them. I got the red Ford F350 Lariat crew cab, and I also got the Dodge flatbed. So let's take a look at these trucks first, and we'll get on to some other Greenlight. Let's take a look at this here red Ford. This is kind of a cool truck. They definitely, unfortunately, and this is getting around the Greenlight collectors, is that they changed this series from what they were been produced. Like, they don't use metal bases or plastic, and some other things have changed too. On this example, there isn't as much tampoing on this vehicle, especially around the windshield. That's all just plain windshield. There's no surround in there, you can see. And just as a little bit better comparison, this is just a recent anniversary set that they had. It's all metal. It's all plastic now. Same wheels and tires. They tampo the headlight a little bit differently too. It looks like they did it inside the lens there. This one they do the outside. But you can see the windshields. It's much better when they have the black trim on there than not. They did do the windshield wipers, but that's about it. You can see even the cowl there is just clear plastic. Let's take a look here. Get this on camera a little bit better. So, you got your displacement there for their Powerstroke. Supposed to be a 2019 truck. Let's see the difference there in the background. Plastic. A little bit of a misalignment with the chassis on the body, so I'm gonna have to fix that. It's all one piece, one casting. This is an insert, but you can see there's no break in the bed. It's not a separate bed on these dualies. Very large tampo on the Ford, just as a comparison. Plus they don't have Super Duty on there either. Tires are okay. Rolling pretty straight. A little bit of a crookedness to them. Just because the way these molds are, sometimes they're not centered in there. Take off some of these tires off the rim and the stamping isn't concentric sometimes. Let's take a look here too. So we're gonna make a ton of these. This one, 7400 serial number already on this one. Same casting for the base. If you look at this plastic base versus the metal one, that's the same. So let's back out a little bit. It's got a little loose, so I gotta get that mirror glued on. So there we go. Ford F350 Lariat. This is the 6.7 diesel truck. Very nice V8 diesel. So there's our Ford. It's gonna look good though. It'll tow. I have actually, that fell off, fortunately. It's got the hitch here that goes in that hole. Just gotta glue that on. But it does come with the hitch. Alright. Let's take a look too. We got, what is it? So again, just a package. Series 1. It's first of the series. I didn't get the other ones. I didn't like them. I don't have to complete this set. The next set's going to have more interesting vehicles. They're going to have NYPD F-350, and they're going to have a fire department Silverado crew cab, New York City Fire, and they're also going to have a Bigfoot F-350. So those are going to be obviously going into the collection. Finally have something to tow the fifth wheel Bigfoot set with. So that'll be nice. Okay, next on deck, we're going to look at cool truck. Like this. Actually, I got this one before the Ford. So I like the way it looked. This is a 2018 Ram 3500 Laramie trim. So Laramie trucks usually have leather and stuff like that. It's chrome grille. So it comes from Greenlight. You can see that the grill wash is not all the way out to the edge. So you're going to have to fill that in with some black paint. You can see Cummins, and you have Ram 3500 heavy duty. Again, plastic base on this, unfortunately. Another high serial number. They're going to make a lot of these. But the bed is metal too. The headache rack here is plastic. Back this out a little bit. Looks good though. Looks very nice. Typical diesel truck. I like the bed on it. Looks very good. So comes with on this one. It's got your hitch too set up. So I'll leave that in the package. Remember, if you go here, Hobby Lobby, get your coupon. Don't forget. Anyway, again, the set. Silverado's got the utility body on it, which is alright, but I don't like the color, so didn't get it. Alright, so next we're going to look at some cool stuff. Let's take a look at this GMC Vandura. This is a Greenlight hobby exclusive. Really cool colors. Obviously they're using the 18 molding, but it looks really cool with those colors. Hobby exclusive. Vandura, GMC. It's a 1983 van. Most likely probably had a 350 in it. Doesn't really say. I didn't look at it closely to see if it was 3/4 ton or a half-ton van. It's got a funny van credo on the back if you're a van person. There's your information. So these are online right now. You can get these. Usually not able to get these if you are kind of like shopping around the big box stores. Won't have these. You're gonna have to go online for this stuff. All right, so we looked at the package. Let's look at the van. Pretty cool. This thing looks pretty neat. Very neat tampo work. Again, Greenlight shines in this area in terms of the detail. See all the panels that are tampoed on this van. GMC. Everything's white. Spoiler, bumpers, door handles, everything's trimmed in white. It's got the zoomies. It's got a metal base. $13.44. So you can see the panel work is done very nicely. Sunroof, visor. And there's that really good GMC grill that they do. This is supposed to be a 1983 van. I can barely read the GMC part of that Vandura. Doesn't say the tonnage on it. This is basically, this van is a standard wheelbase van. It's not a short nor a long wheelbase. It's just a regular wheelbase van. It's got the ground effects there. No side mirrors on this one. Cool truck. Of course, we've seen this casting many times. It underpins a lot of vehicles. It could be something as simple as this, where they shorten the fenders, like the police van. You know, to something more crazy like this one, which is supposed to be a 78. You could see how they do the grills differently. It's kind of easy to do all the different ears. But this van was done, but you can also say, oh, that van looks the same, but really they changed it slightly every year. Every 2 years they do a little bit of a tweak to this body. So fun to have the vans. I don't go crazy on them because Greenlight will make a lot of vans. I try to just get stuff that I like, and of course we gotta use the most famous van right there. Greenlight does a really good van. Once they updated from their early van series where they were really narrow, they paid attention to what the size is supposed to be like, and this is one of my top castings of Greenlight, is just the Vandura. They use the Chevy too. They'll put Chevy vans on this too, but a lot of GMCs. So very happy to add that to the collection. It's good to have some vans. This will look good on the layout. Okay, so we're moving up the food chain. Well, I did end up getting the vacation Vista Cruiser, and show that in a second. I'll add that into this video, but let's look at this. This is another hobby exclusive. I try to get these hobby exclusives if they interest me. And this one was kind of cool. I was like, you know what, I should get this car before it gets expensive. You know, if you wait on this type of stuff and then you go back after it, you don't find them locally, they can get nuts. But I wanted to have the Oldsmobile ambulance, definitely, because I ended up getting all the Oldsmobile castings to this date, I believe. I might do a video on that separately, I don't know. But this one had some cool markings, graphics. It is in a station wagon ambulance, so it's kind of cool. From the 70s. This is a 1970 Vista Cruiser. It's kind of odd. It's got the roof rack on it, and then it's got a beacon here, and then it's got the siren. So it's a funny setup. Still has the wood grain. This could have been, you know, private ambulance company for transporting people. Doesn't have to be necessarily something that was going through traffic, although sometimes it could be. Could have been someone that was an invalid, just trying to go to and from the hospital to their house, something like that. But anyway, 1970 car. It doesn't have the Oldsmobile insignia on the hubcaps, so I saw that was different. And no license plates on this car either. Other than that, pretty standard issue car. I'll show you though too. Oh, of course, no hitch. Operating tailgate. But I was looking at the casting of National Lampoon's vacation car, and basically this car is the one that the Griswolds traded in to get the truckster. But anyway, no roof rack on this car, so I like the clean look. And the only other cars that don't have roof racks, I don't think even the pace cars have roof racks, so thought that was kind of interesting. Wasn't gonna get this one, but might as well have all of them for now. They haven't had too many castings out yet, so kind of easy to keep up. But anyway, I digress. So there is our beautiful ambulance. This is a 1970 Olds Cutlass Vista Cruiser wagon. The ambulance, it could have had a 350 Olds in it, could have had a 455, you know. Just depending on how they wanted to order it. Very nice car. Very excited to have it. This one, serial number 2150. Metal base, so no plastic. Alright. Let's go down to this interesting car. I'm going to open this one up on camera. So, an odd vehicle. Some people, this is kind of like a car culture thing to me. You would say, what's going on with this? An orange taxi, Binghamton, New York, kind of like a out of the way place, upstate New York, I think, or on the Hudson River, or something like that. Anyway, what is that? 7 original miles. Well, this was an odd duck. This car was ordered by the taxi company head, so as Laura says, and what happened was he kind of parked it inside. Didn't want anybody driving it. They had other taxis, but they ordered it. It was a kind of still a mystery why the car was ordered if they weren't going to put it right into service. So anyway, it stayed inside, and they didn't drive it, but they would take some parts off of it, incidental parts, stuff like there was a windshield wiper missing and jack. The wheels weren't the correct size. They were actually a smaller rim. Problem with those smaller rims is you're limited on tire size, so everybody, when the Mopar cars this era had the narrow steelies, they'd go up a size, get a little bit better tire on there. But this is a 77 Fury, 7 miles. Must have been delivered to the taxi because, I mean, if you get it at the dealership and drive it, you'd have more than 7 miles. So that seems a little suspect to me. But anyway, taxi. Let's take a look at this car. I got it because I knew about this. This kind of article came out 3 years ago. And I remember reading about this car and thinking about, wow, imagine having a Fury with no miles on it. Of course, this one you'd think would be in really good condition, but it wasn't. I guess where they stored it was kind of damp, and unfortunately, water got onto this car and rotted it out a little bit. Really. So, fortunately, the back pillar here kind of rusted through to the floor pan, even though the car didn't drive. And it's not really a high performance car either. This was a taxi special from Chrysler Corporation. This is a Plymouth, and I give you a little bit better wiring, heavier brakes, suspension, sort of, you know, depending on what you want. But it had a 225 flat 6 in it, so it was just a 6-cylinder car, automatic. I don't even think it had air conditioning. I saw a picture of the engine, but I forgot what it showed. But I do remember it was a slant 6 on this car. And it just sat there, kind of got the parts taken off. I guess the grill was also taken at some point. A mirror, stuff like that. But this is Greenlight's really cool casting. 77 Fury front end. Even though they also use the same casting for the Monaco and the Coronet and the earlier Fury as well. I like the little taxi roof sign. Very cool. Let's zoom in a little bit. Let's see if we get some light on the subject. So, Fury badge. It's got the dome up here. It's actually clear. Yellow cab. There's your grill. Kind of refined that process there. It looks a lot different than the grills on the police cars. They did paint the silver on the wheel covers, the center cap, but they didn't carry it all the way to the end. So that'll have to be corrected a little bit. So, really cool car. Very, very cool. You know what? Yeah, it was New York, yeah. I think it ended up in Delaware for some reason when it was getting sold, if I remember. But anyway, cool car, 1977 Fury. I think this will look good on the layout too. And of course, I'm a Fury Monaco guy, so what a cool car, cool history, 7-mile car. Very nice. All right, going to a Ford Mustang now. Take a look at this bad boy. This is part of the Goodyear BF Goodrich tires, not Goodyear, marketing campaign, 90s, 2000s. I remember these in the catalogs and the magazines I used to read and stuff in the day. And a lot of these I remember. So I got this, another hobby exclusive. You know, this is not regular retail stuff, so. But they make a lot of them, and you can just, again, you can get them online. Anybody that sells the Greenlights online will have this car. So really cool car. Very excited to take a look at it. Let's see here. Let's open her up. I'll leave the ad intact. This one I did not open before our visit today, but I have this casting. I don't have the new stuff that just came out. They actually make a drag car of this with drag slicks on it, but this one's just kind of the ad car. Has the same Tampa work as the actual ad car, even on the windows, as you can see on this. I mean, look at that. So these are supposed to be weld drag stars, but they just kind of use torque thrust to simulate that look. Got the cowl induction hood. Usually these are made out of fiberglass. Notchback. I like this casting. It reminds me of the car I used to have. I used to have a 5-liter Notchback like this. Not yellow. Fun car. The V8 stick shift. Very nice car to drive. Alright, so let's see here. 2897 serial. Metal base. This is an older casting that Greenlight has in its arsenal. Let's see if we can get the hood open. It's going to have just your standard 5-liter. They didn't do anything different for the engine bay. So, it's just black. See if we can zoom in a little bit. So we got 5-liter. And we got all the contingency stickers. You got Mustang on the rear quarter. You can see how they have the clear lens. If you wanted to clean it up, you can kind of pry those out. Get the flashing off of that plastic so that lens would lay in there a little bit smoother. But generally the cars are good. They just look crooked because they're not assembled with a lot of care. But they can look really good if you clean them up. This is a nice car, rolls good. And we can compare it to my 2 other 5-liter cars that I have in the inventory. Got a Mustang and a Nevada SSP Mustang cars. So these are special service units that Ford would do for the police department. So these are good. It's a good little trio. Brought those down from the collection to show you guys and gals some more 5-liters. Alright, so casting I love. Hopefully I can find some more of those in the future. So, truck. I've been waiting for this thing. This is the tip of the spear in terms of the square bodies that are coming into Mig's place. So this is a 1981 Chevrolet K-5 Blazer. This is a low one. It's very looks very two-wheel drive-ish. I don't see a transfer case on this chassis. It looked like it was a plastic chassis, but it's actually metal. They painted flat black. So let's take a look. I bought 2 of them. Should have bought more. But anyway, here it is. X-Files Blazer. It's probably from one of the episodes they had early in the season. I can't remember what this is off of, but some consequential episode. Very basic on the back. Now this is going to be a full Hollywood release, so this will be out in retail locations. Big box stores that carry Greenlight should have this. So a wide release from Greenlight, very good. So let's take a look at it. So we're going to back it up. Very excited about this casting because this is the 80s, the full 80s square bodies. M2 and Auto World, they've been doing their square bodies, which are really excellent, but that's the square body before it got a little bit smoother. As you can see, the quarter panel is a little bit different for these years. So this is an 81. It's got the quote-unquote mustache grill. The square body fans kind of call this grill setup. I'm going to probably get a couple more of these because when the long bed trucks come, they're coming. So we're going to take a look at those too. But anyway, when they finally get here, I'm going to do a grill swap, do a custom on one. Let's take a look at that Tampa work. You know, the casting is good. I love the lines on the body. The only thing that's troubling is the paint and how faint the door jambs are on this casting. Not only the tailgate, but the doors are very faint. You can see it here. The hood is separate, so it doesn't open, but it's separate. So that looks great. You can see how the line in the hood looks perfect. So Really, if you wanted to make this look a lot better, is you can strip the paint off this vehicle, disassemble it, and take a scribing tool, and that'll get a lot better. You know, if you really wanted to take this out. There's also a lot of 3D printer guys already that are doing the side mirrors, the correct factory side mirrors for these trucks too. So, you know, these can be super detailed very quickly. Pretty generic wheels. They have the Greenlight new tire on there, which they kind of chose just because it has a tall sidewall on it. But again, this could look a lot better with factory rims, and I'm going to show you that in a second. But let's just take a look at what Greenlight gives us. It's still pretty great, I would say. Still pretty great. Very excited to have it. White bumpers, which is really great because, you know, fleet and base Chevys would get that treatment in this time frame in the 80s. Kind of a generic light bar on top. Alright, so just like on their Plymouth Trail Duster and Dodge Ram Charger, this is a removable top. Very easily just comes off. You can see the setting pins in the rear there. So that comes off. That's really clear plastic. They tinted the windows and then they paint the brown over top, and it's really just a very clear piece of plastic. So all in one unit. So they have the Blazer set up here with the second row, and back then K-5s had that stand for your spare tire. That's kind of how it was. You can see the interior more. They use the 4-spoke steering wheel, which is on the later trucks. I mean, this time frame, I only have a 2-spoke, I'm thinking, on that. Probably an automatic truck. Yeah, they got a full center console on that, which was a high option. Wouldn't be on this. This would probably be a bench seat truck, or the 2 buckets with no center console. I think the Blazers came either way. So, but nice deep bed. I can just, you know, see this will swap right over for the trucks when they come, so I'm very excited about that. So I got a couple. I'm gonna have to find more of them. But there's the Blazer, and then again, we'll take a look at this. I was able to have a buddy find this for me because I still can't find this one. I only have the step sides, but I wheel swapped it and kept it on the lowered base. But these rims, I mean, are gonna look perfect on this once I get more of these. That's what I plan on doing. You can see at our world again, their tires are perfectly sized for this application of 164 square body. But again, the slight change that I'm talking about from the 70s to the 80s, you can see on the profile of the hood, where it's more straight in the 80s than it is in the 70s, which is, you know, executed perfectly, the differences. And then the quarter panels, there's more of a kick out there than there is on the 80s cars. It's smoothed out. So those are the major differences, even though like the doors and things like that could theoretically swap. Some of the sheet metal is different. So there you go. Big review today. Got a lot of Greenlight stuff coming. We're going to have the long bed trucks. They're going to be coming next. And we're going to take a look at those in depth as well. So I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have a great week. Thank you for watching and subscribing. If you like this video, check out the channel. Till next time.